Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Kalika and I make anti-MLM content here on YouTube focusing on the predatory and unethical practices used in sales and coaching and business opportunity scams. Today I wanted to look at a post that was sent to me by a friend who was also in a network marketing company with me. This is a post of someone else who was also in that same company. I didn't know this person, but they are a serial network marketer. They've been in many companies since they were 18-ish, from what I've heard. And so they've seen some level of success and have some sort of a team that follows them around and goes from company to company with them. Like I said, don't know this person. I don't need to know this person. I'm not creating this content to attack anybody. This is meant to be educational and help you in understanding or identifying who is a network marketer, why they're posting things like this, what is leading them to say the things that they're saying. And I'm going to read in between the lines a little bit to provide some context, because even though I don't know this person, every company perpetuates very similar ideologies, and you'll see very quickly why it becomes problematic because it blames the victim. It comes very close to recognizing the truth of the scenario, but then spins off into kind of Delulu land afterwards. And so we're just going to look at this post. There's a lot there, so I probably will be stopping after every sentence, and I'm going to put it up on the screen here as well. 8 screenshots, I believe, and I think it's the entirety of the post. Either way, we're going to break it down. I think it gives a lot of insight, and there will be a lot of things to talk about. So it starts by saying,
I've thought about this a lot. I hope it doesn't hurt feelings, but I know it can and probably will.
This already is giving, hey, I'm going to give you some tough love. That's the energy that I'm getting from it. It's like that preemptive, I'm going to say something rude to kind of make it okay, even though it may not be. It's kind of excusing your own bad behavior ahead of time. That's just the energy I get from someone starting a post like that. This is a Facebook post, by the way.
Nothing about me is special. As a matter of fact, I'm probably one of the most broken and screwed up individuals many of you follow.
Now that statement meant to be relatable, right? Like, hey, we're all broken. I'm just as broken as you are. There's nothing special about me. I'm just another average guy. MLMers have to include a certain degree of relatability in their post because the undertone of everything is that they're trying to recruit you for something. So it's, if I can do this, you can too. So they have to seem relatable. This sentence makes it sound like he's trying to be relatable. This is also textbook for network marketing kind of testimonials or stories. You craft your story once you get into any one of these groups. It doesn't matter which company. And it always starts with, I was down and out, I was broken, I didn't have anything, I'm unqualified, that kind of message. Again, to show the transformation so he can talk about how good things are now, also to be relatable. He goes on to say,
but here's a wild truth. There are a good number of amazing friends who keep following me from business opportunity to business opportunity. Each and every one of them is amazing in their own right.
So here he's acknowledging that not only has he gone from company to company to company, but he's brought people with him. So for those of you who may be new here, this might be your first piece of anti-MLM content that you're watching. There are a few foundational truths that here in the anti-MLM community, we know things have been studied and proven as fact, and so we don't necessarily sit and explain the entirety of them on every single video. One of those being that to be successful in an MLM, you have to build a team. You have to recruit a bunch of people. And the best people, the people that are best at that, are generally charismatic leaders. And they form these little groups around them. They're called teams in network marketing, but they're like a little cult of personality around this charismatic leader. So you'll notice that when somebody starts to rise in an MLM, they have recruited a bunch of people below them, have also sold that dream to those people that they can make this life-changing income from this opportunity and that everybody has an equal playing field. So those people are now bought into recruiting other people, all sold on that same dream. The reality is that dream is unattainable mathematically. It just can't happen for everyone to be winning because the losses of all the people buying in are the gains and the bonus checks of the person at the top who recruited all of them. So basically, one person at the top recruits a chunk of people, builds a huge team. The majority of those people never post a net profit, but the person at the top does because they're buying in and continuing to buy in, to pay to play, to stay active in their company because they're sold on the opportunity of this life-changing income. And the income, it's just the appearance of a lifestyle, the appearance of an income. A lot of stories have been told of people at the top who are bringing in money, but just as much as going out, or like even though they're in the top 1%, they're really not netting that much of a actual profit that would be comparable to, say, a job or replace like a career level income. So he's acknowledging here that he is that leader of that group and he has people that will follow him from company to company. Now, I say cult of personality because people get so attached to their leader that it's more about the leader than it is about the product, about the company, about the opportunity. They just like to belong. Someone has made them feel special and has given them hope and is profiting off of them hoping and failing and continuing to buy in. It's really sad because generally the people that defend the leaders in the companies are those followers, the ones that are losing the money, the ones being defrauded themselves. But these are the people that will follow a leader around from company to company. So here he's acknowledging that he has those people. And he's saying, oh, they're amazing. Each one of them is amazing in their own right. But then he goes on to say,
yet I've tried to quantify why in the last 4 ventures I keep going higher and higher and most stay right where they are.
So do you see he's so close to seeing it? He's going higher and higher because he is that leader who has attracted a bunch of people to him who continue to follow him. And as you go from company to company, you get a few new recruits that join in, you've kind of amassed a following. This is what happens. Very similar to how, people have followings on social media and then they may switch industries or niches, but they'll have a chunk of people that'll still follow them, even though that's not what they originally started following them for, just because they have connected with that leader or that individual or that influencer. But he's saying here that he keeps going higher and higher. Again, we don't have any proof of this. The company that he's in is Live Good. I looked for their income disclosure statement earlier today. I didn't find one. So again, it's just the appearance or his word that he keeps going higher and higher. But everyone else stays where they are. So it's like you're winning, but your people are still not. Which to us anti-MLMers, this makes perfect sense because them not winning is exactly what is paying your checks. If those people stopped following you and stopped buying into every opportunity you presented them, you would lose your rank. So them losing is exactly why you keep going higher and higher, because you are good at amassing these people and selling them an unattainable dream. When you see that you're giving them an opportunity that is unattainable for most of them mathematically, eventually you have to see that like most of your people are losing and you are either okay with it and you keep doing what you're doing and you double down, dig your heels in, or you get out and you do the right thing. But he's acknowledging that his people are not progressing, but he is. So his explanation for this is the rest of this post. He says,
why do some of us catch this bug, this parasite that absolutely injects belief that our lives can be different? Yet even when you show others it's possible, no amount of reality gives them the desire to have the taste for it.
Now that's heavy. There's a few things there. Listen, every human wants their life to be better, okay? There's desire for more within each of us, even though that looks different for every single one of us. But he's basically saying that all those people stay right where they are because even though he's shown them it's possible, they don't have the desire to go out and get it. This is where the victim blaming begins. This is where the gaslighting begins. And gaslighting is a word that's thrown around. It's so popular these days. And it's not really used correctly all of the time. But this starts from the very beginning. From even before you sign up, they kind of phrase it like, success or failure is on you. And so you start to internalize that if you're not seeing success, it's because you don't want it enough, you don't believe enough, you're not working hard enough, you have some other inner work you still have to do that's blocking you. And this is where these people start to try to coach you on your past and your trauma, all these things that they're not qualified to help you do, to try and convince you that you're not seeing success because there's something wrong with you. The other thing I want to address here is the selling off of possibility. There are ethical ways to sell and there's unethical ways to sell. Listen, all of sales uses a little bit of persuasion and psychology. It's true. But bottom line is, what you should be selling should be something that is quantifiable, that the other person actually needs. Selling off of fear or selling off of possibility, these sales pitches are full of, what would your dream life look like? What do you really want to accomplish? What's your biggest thorn in your side right now? And then we're going to help you fix it. And they tap into your emotions around what you really want, what your passions are, what the possibility of your future could be without that problem or with that additional fill in the blank. Money, job, house, car, child, husband, whatever that is. They appeal to that and then sell you that this can give that to you, which is absolutely not true. This is the part that is a scam. You're selling infinite possibility to everyone. You're telling everyone they have the same chances. It's an evil playing field. That is absolutely not true. And I'm going to keep saying mathematically because later in the post, he keeps saying that math is the math is the math. Like I said, he's this close. But mathematically, everyone can't just work hard and want it and then hit the top ranks of an MLM. It just can't work like that. There have to be more people buying in than are collecting the bonus checks. Otherwise, the whole system crumbles. No actual real business is being done. The products are just an extra step to make this look more legitimate. And so you'll see it. This is what's addressed, the possibility. This is what's really being sold. The dream, the hope, and the possibility. And that in itself is predatory. I run a bartending service. When I sell a package, of course, I'm gonna want that bride and groom's wedding to be absolutely amazing and perfect. But I'm not gonna sit there and my pitch isn't gonna be like, look at all these amazing things that could happen on your wedding day, and just say that I can fulfill their wildest wedding dreams. No, I'm gonna sell them on what we can provide as a premium bartending company to create a memorable craft bar experience for their guests. That's something that I can quantify. That's something that I can deliver on. And it's not just a possibility that your wedding's going to be great. No, this is exactly what I'm going to do to deliver on my end of the services that you're purchasing from me. I don't need to build belief or hope or desire in my customer to get them to want to buy that. If they see the value in what we have, they'll buy it. So I don't have to exploit their emotions to sell to them. That is my main point.
I remember when I was in World Ventures, I caught the bug seeing those leaders talking on stage, telling their stories. I bought every training audio, even built an online library so my teams wouldn't have to spend the money. I listened to those audios every single day, and I went to every single event, every single regional training.
Those leaders on stage, those leaders get idolized because they have a good position in the tree, which comes down to being around long enough, rubbing elbows with people who start MLM companies, and them giving you a prime position, which is a lot of chance and luck, and bringing teams with you and recruiting a huge downline, knowing that the majority of those people are going to spend more money than they'll ever make. So these are the icons, the idols, the leaders talking on stage, telling their stories. And the stories are always a rags to riches story. And it always starts with them in a desperate, vulnerable position, which is so characteristic of MLMs because that's exactly what they do. Prey on people when they are vulnerable. And I don't mean vulnerable as in weak. I don't mean vulnerable as in emotionally unstable. I mean when they're actually in a position where their livelihood is threatened, where they're making short-term decisions out of desperation, where they are desperately looking for a solution to a problem. And everybody has those moments. The strongest people can still be vulnerable at times. Starting a new school, leaving a relationship, moving to a new city, any major life transitions, people are more vulnerable at those times, and you'll notice that's when they end up joining MLMs, the majority of them at least. Most people who are successful and happy and content do not join MLM companies. And then he talks about how you go to an event, you listen to these stories, and then you start buying all the training and going to every event. I did this exact same thing because you go to that first event and they tell you these rags to riches stories. They tell you how you can make so much money, even though that may not be what you signed up for. I didn't. I just signed up to go on vacation. But then you go to an event and they're like, oh, well, if you really want to make money, you got to recruit. And you can actually make millions of dollars here, and you should really want that. And then they tell you, your friends and family, if they don't understand, just spend less time with them and more time around us. And listen to our audios when you're not here. Come to every event. Stay plugged in. Stay around the campfire, because then one day you may catch a spark. And so you start self-indoctrinating, listening to audios in your car and when you wake up in the morning and when you're working out. And it's just more of these people saying the same things. You just got to keep going. Pay attention. Get excited. Never quit. Just got to show more people. This is how to prospect people in the grocery store. This is how to reach out to your old friends from high school. This is how to send cold messages online. Oh, someone told you this is a scam? Just work on your mindset a little bit more. You need to have more posture around this. They just don't understand. We have the answers here. If they say no, it doesn't really mean no. It just means not right now. People's lives change every 3 months. Their lives could be drastically different. You'd be doing a disservice if you didn't go and follow up with them. This is the stuff they start teaching you at the events, but then you're self-indoctrinating yourself with this stuff too. They say success or failure is on you. It sucks being your own business owner, even though they're not business owners, because you have to set your own schedule. Oh, you're not working hard enough. You need to talk to 10 people a day. You need to do 3 presentations a day. And then more and more and more. The numbers just go up from there. Do a live video, pay for coaching. This is how you get more and more indoctrinated. As you can see, this is what happened to him.
You couldn't stop me. I worked relentlessly at writing scripts, messaging thousands upon thousands, testing tools, marketing, putting different tools on my vehicle windows, many new business cards, websites, etc.
So mind you, an MLM rep is paying for all of this stuff and doing all of this labor that they are not compensated for. I don't doubt for 1 second that he messaged thousands of people. I did too. You're not paid for your time. The sale is the only thing that actually pays you. All this extra stuff you're doing, you're not paid for. And then the websites, the business cards, the tools that you're putting on your windows, the marketing stuff, all that's coming out of your own pocket.
All the while, I changed career paths, got let go during COVID, found another job, lost that job, found another career path, lost my wife, don't see my kids, lived in a camper, and now I have my own building.
That's a really sad sentence. To me, I mean, this sounds like the destruction that happens when you join a cult. The rest of your life kind of falls apart because you're neglecting everything besides your group. Now, I would ask, was this worth not talking to your kids? Is this why you lost your job or your wife? Because this was a bigger commitment? Some people think that using the word cult is too strong around this, but cults and addictions have some very problematic, symptomatic behavior, and a lot of that can be seen in MLMs too.
Why is it someone like me keeps remaining consistent regardless of my situation?
Because you're desperate. Nothing else is working out for you. Now, if you left this industry and focused in a legitimate career path that didn't center around defrauding people, maybe your situation wouldn't be so volatile.
My friends, I've never in my life enrolled a person to make money off of them. Not once. I've enrolled every single person because I saw what an opportunity could do for them as what it could do for me.
Now, this is what most MLMers think. They do not think they're signing friends up to make money. If you ask them, do you get paid to recruit? They'll be like, no. That would be a pyramid scheme. Pyramid schemes are illegal. But if you actually look at the compensation plan, which are made super convoluted on purpose because most reps don't understand them, you'll see, okay, they don't actually give you a bonus the second that someone signs up to be a rep in your company. But make no mistake, they will buy product along with that rep sign up, which is commissionable for you, which contributes to your group volume, and that also contributes to your downline recruiting requirements, because most companies, and I do believe Live Good has a similar thing, you need legs of teams to build. Might just be 2 or 3, but if you recruit somebody and that's one of your legs, that is one of your organizations that is making you money, and that's making you more money than just the sale of your product. This is what we mean when we say you are incentivized to recruit, you are paid to recruit. They cover it up. That's how MLMs stay legal. If they were just right out in the open about it, that's when they get, shut down right away. MLMers never think that they're signing people to make money off of them. But make no mistake, that is what's happening. Your group volume and all the money that I was paying in, to keep my membership when I didn't have enough people to waive my fee, that's going towards my group volume for my upline. And when I did have enough memberships to waive my fee, the people below me didn't, and I had brought in more people paying memberships, that is going to keep my upline's rank. And then they get paid off of me being under them, recruiting other people. They recruited me and I'm recruiting others, and they are getting paid for it. Let's say someone has no extra spending money to spend on your MLM, and you convince them to forego something that they need, forego something that they want, ask for money for it, put it on a credit card, knowing well what the statistics are that they will probably never make their money back. There's a 99% chance that they will never make their money back. That is unethical. That is getting a sign up. That is taking someone's money when it's not in their best interest so that you can get a sale, so that you can make money through your company's compensation plan. No, they are not directly handing you $50 and it's going in your pocket, but you are signing them up to make money off of them in any future work that they do. Make no mistake.
One of my favorite Zig quotes is, help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you need automatically. Read that again.
Zig Ziglar is a huge name quoted in the MLM space. Nothing groundbreaking, just MLM sales training, really. And you'll notice how vague this statement is, because help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you need automatically. What they want? Most people sign up for the business opportunity because they're talked into it. Their recruiter will say anything to talk them into the business opportunity, even if they're not really sold on making an income from this yet. They're like, oh, well, you could just share with a couple people, and why not make even just a few extra bucks? So they'll get you to sign saying pretty much anything. So it'll get you to jump on the business opportunity. But like we said, 99% are not going to make money. So what happens? You get them in, you indoctrinate them, you get them to believe that they're getting value from this community. And so when they're not getting money, you have avid cult followers that are like, oh my gosh, but I still love the products and I've met so many amazing people. And this is how they can get away with saying a quote like, help people get what they want. Because even though you got them to sign on the dotted line for that income opportunity to make money, somehow when they don't make money, those very same people, bless their hearts, will convince you that they still got something that they wanted out of this, whether it was community or whatever.
I look at statements that some people make about 99% won't. The reality is alarming. 99% don't want to.
Okay. I mean, I've already talked about this multiple times. It's not 99% won't, and it's not that 99% don't want to. It's that 99% cannot, mathematically cannot. There would not be enough money to pay the bonus checks if everyone was making money and nobody was losing, because there is no real business being done. It's a huge money transfer scheme. And now he goes on a very angry rant.
Because if you want a Starbucks coffee, you'll go get dressed, get in your car, drive a distance, wait in line, order, wait some more, get to the pickup window, pay and receive your mocha grande foo-foo latte with sprinkles, even though you know sprinkles are for winners and you're not winning.
MLMers hate Starbucks because people actually want Starbucks and not their MLM products. That is the way of capitalism. Market demand is what makes a company successful. If they can successfully deliver and meet that market demand. Don't be mad at Starbucks. And if you want your Starbucks, go get your Starbucks. And just because you go to Starbucks doesn't mean that you're not winning. And even if you don't hit all your goals, that doesn't mean you should deprive yourself of things that you like. This is all just super toxic hustle culture.
In that time, not once are you using the time for an audiobook, a motivational speech, something that's going to fix your mindset.
Now, the condescension. I don't know who follows this guy, but this type of huge turnoff for me. Audiobook, motivational speech, he's talking about self-indoctrination again. Why aren't you listening to Eric Grzybowski or Jay Peso talking? Basically. And assuming that there's something wrong with somebody's mindset because they're willing to wait for a drink that they want instead of, like he says in the next sentence,
in that time you didn't blast out 20 messages on multiple platforms. In that time you didn't text 10 people in your phone.
So every free second that you have, you should be prospecting for your network marketing business. Otherwise, you have a broken mindset.
You wanted coffee. You didn't want to change your financial future. Because for some unbelievable reason, you don't seem to believe it can happen to you.
Not in a pyramid scheme. It can happen to you much easier outside MLM. PSA. For any MLM reps out there, you have way better odds.
When I was watching my icons like Jay Peso, Johnny Wimbry, and Eric Grzybowski, and so many more, I didn't know how, I didn't know why, but I wanted what they had. I said, if those people can do it, why can't I?
That's because that's literally what they were indoctrinating you with on stage at those events. That's what they fill your head with. Jay Peso is now in another MLM, My Daily Choice. Johnny Wimbry is now back with Dream Trips. And Eric Grzybowski is still with Secret, if it hasn't gone under yet. Serial MLMers. And they get you to believe in the dream. They stand on stage and tell their stories to get you to want what they had. This worked on you. And the toxic thing is, people are brought up in this culture, like I think this person was, and they're indoctrinated by the scams so young, they think the whole industry is legit. And it's a slippery slope because this can lead to coaching, and coaching in itself is a very problematic industry. There's a lot of just grifters, I guess is the best way to put it. It's unregulated. People are charging whatever for intangible results. A lot of people go from MLMs to coaching because they just feel like they can just sell their story, essentially. So you have a bunch of uneducated people, untrained people. I mean, it's not even about education, just people speaking on things that they aren't professionals in and they aren't trained on, and perpetuating a lot of misinformation. Again, selling hopes and dreams, really about just getting more clients and recruiting and selling more, and not having a valuable deliverable that people want and need and are willing to pay a fair price for.
I heard Eric teach, the one who holds the clicker gets paid quicker. I started giving presentations everywhere, every day, anywhere I could, in strangers' homes, in strangers' basements, for teams that weren't even my teams. I wanted to practice.
So they're talking about holding the clicker for a PowerPoint presentation. If you're the one giving the presentation, you'll get paid faster. I mean, the more you can command the room, the better the chances that you have, for sure. The easier it'll be to develop a following and present yourself as an authority figure. And once you kind of throw yourself into the gauntlet, you learn the presentation quicker too than just being afraid to be the one giving it. Like, again, I was taught the same thing and I did the same thing. I started presenting as soon as I could. It's funny because it's always presented as an altruistic thing, like we help each other's teams, but here he's kind of showing you that he was really doing it to get paid faster and to just get some reps in. I also want to address the strangers' homes and strangers' basements thing, because that's something that's come up in conversation with ex-MLMers as well, as the potentially unsafe positions that we put ourselves in sometimes just to do a presentation. You just trust people because they're in the same MLM as you, or they're friends of people that are in your MLM. And, you know, especially as women, there was a lot of situations where you're rooming with people or going to people's houses or riding with people places. And, you know, I really wouldn't recommend that to anybody.
Why was I infected with this and so many just won't find the passion?
It is your fault if you're not seeing success here.
What makes me crazy is hearing a person tell me a company or opportunity is hype when it is just so ridiculously stupid that math is math. And the worst part is knowing 80% won't, 50% will, do some, and 5% will go do the most.
Network marketing is built on hype. The hype of pre-launch, the hype of new things coming, because the hype is what gets new recruits in and excited about the possibility. If there is no hype, there is no company. Because if these products were actually desirable, they would just be sold retail. You wouldn't need to have a whole organization of reps buying and being the majority of your sales and recruiting other reps to keep the company afloat. And the 80, 15, and 5, like I know Ray Higdon used to teach this too. It's kind of a spin on the 80-20 rule, which the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle, it doesn't apply to everything. Going off of the premise that most of your money, most of your effort is going to come from 20%, not the 80%. 80% are not going to do much, 20% will. And they break that 20% down even further, that 15 will do some, but 5 are going to go out there and do it all. And this is how they kind of explain that only a couple people make money. This is how it's like you're seeing two different things. You're looking at the same thing, but seeing two different things. When you're on the MLM side, I remember even being told myself, like they kind of pitch it to you as like, oh, this is great because the way it works is that everybody just does a little bit and makes a little bit of money, and that's how this works. This helps the average person make a couple $100 extra. But then somebody like the upline will tell you, it's really not. That's really not how it works. It's really just a couple people that go out there and roll hundreds. And so that's what this is alluding to. But this is presenting it, and coaches will pass this down. It's based off of your level of desire. Only 5% want to go out there and do that. The other 95 don't. That's why they don't see success, which that's not the case. I can guarantee you that not 95% of people are just not trying or don't want to.
And here's where most fail. If the average network marketer, the 15%ers, enroll 4 at the most, when would they ever find their own 5% people for their teams?
This is where the math doesn't work, homie. The math is the math is the math is the next thing that he says. This is where the math doesn't work. The average network marketer can't even get 4 people. 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 can only go on so long before you exceed the population of the planet. And that's just one tree. And you're saying everybody has that same opportunity. That's why it's not possible. Like, he's so close, you know? And this is what I have trouble with, because as I was leaving, I thought, well, okay, you know, people must just not see the insidiousness of this, because if they saw it, they would get that this is problematic. No, this person sees it, and he's okay with it. But he doesn't have his critical thinking skills activated when it comes to this industry, because he's been so indoctrinated by it that he's lost that ability to think critically, because he hasn't been able to step away, that he can't see that this can't equal money for the majority. This can only equate to money for a very few while the rest lose.
The math is the math is the math. If you're not willing to fight through it all to enroll hundreds to find a few, sorry, my friend.
So enroll hundreds. Those are the hundreds that sign up and don't do anything. Or as we know, the hundreds that sign up and lose, post a net loss. When I say lose, that's what I mean. And the few are going to be those people that go try to recruit a bunch. And those people may not even post a net profit. But that's what you have to do. Like, you literally have to be willing to talk to thousands and thousands and thousands of people, to burn through your network, sign up whoever you can, exploit their network, and keep that chain going for as long as you can to hit what rank you're shooting for.
If you're not willing to get up and present your opportunity to strangers, I can't help you grow.
There's this like superiority complex I'm getting from this too. Like, okay, I get it. If you're trying to make a sale, you got to go out there and make the sales calls. I get that. He's saying he's going to help you grow. Why would I think that you would be capable of helping me grow at all if you just got done telling me that even though you keep ranking higher, your people are not succeeding? Your track record shows you're not helping people grow.
If you're not willing to find a desire to remain as consistent as going to work, or even as consistent as eating food, you'll just keep having what you have.
That's a lot of words to say nothing, and it's not even true. Change is inevitable. Change is like the one constant in life. So things are probably not ever going to just stay the same forever. And you can make positive changes in your life without embracing hustle culture or embracing this narrative that you're not consistent enough and you have to show up more consistently. This is just, again, gaslighting people, telling them that they're not working hard enough and not being consistent.
And if you're not willing, not desiring to consume mindset-altering information through audio and books every single day, you'll not ever break through.
You don't need to read books every single day or listen to audios every day to make positive changes in your life. If you just approach your life experience as maturely as you can and just handle challenges as they come, work through your emotions, lean on your community when you have them, life experience naturally helps you grow. Audios are great and books are great, and I love reading and I like listening to podcasts and I love learning, but none of that is required for personal growth. This is a narrative fed by the industry that profits off of selling you those products. Let's talk about breakthroughs. Breakthroughs, as they are spoken of in seminars and books and transformation programs, are very curated, and there is a psychological way that people who have studied sales psychology and NLP and things like that, they can intentionally take their listeners through emotional highs and lows and tap into specific memories to elicit certain responses in you to get you to feel like you've had a breakthrough. And they call it breaking you down and then like rebuilding you. This is also a cult tactic that's used to kind of rebuild you in the cult image with their ideologies. It's dangerous to ever give any other person that control. And that can be a curated experience that people set up intentionally. Like Tony Robbins is a perfect example. They set that up, you experience it, you're really feeling it, you're really having this experience, but they have strategically created that for you so that they can sell it to you for thousands of dollars. And it is actually, there's been studies done that have shown that there are no lasting effects from these motivational seminars and these breakthrough transformational programs. It makes you feel good in the moment. But beyond that, there aren't really tangible, recordable, observable results. So take what you will from that.
Leaders show up who change your life. I'm excited about the next generation of leaders who come into my business this year.
So like, first leaders are somebody who's leading you, but then in MLM, there's like this whole inception thing that happens. The victims become the perpetrators, the followers become the leaders, and ideally you want to just keep creating leaders, right? Because if you just keep duplicating, then your endless chain will just go on until infinity, and you will have paychecks on the beach forever.
But dang, I wish some of you would find this passion with me.
So just shaming the people that are following him, that have followed him from company to company.
One of the things you'll never see me do is quit because others aren't winning.
It's funny that he says that, because that's a common narrative that's thrown around by MLM leaders when they jump companies. They're like, I was winning, but my team wasn't winning, and this new company, everyone can win. So he is just right out saying, you know what? I won't quit because others are winning. I'll just keep taking their money.
I care way more about my vision than to cry about the one you won't create for yourself.
So if you're in my downline and I'm taking your money, I'm going to keep taking your money. I'm not going to quit because you aren't working. And if you have anything to say about it, you're just crying about it because you don't have enough vision to create a better life for yourself. Oof.
Look, this is way too long, and I hope someone reads it and gets slapped in the mouth with it. You deserve these 10K checks per month. Stop believing you don't. Happy Saturday.
That's an income claim. I don't know why they don't know that you can't make any claims like that. And even if you're sly about it, I literally saw a Live Good training when I was trying to look for their income disclosure statement, and they were talking about how they have to put an income disclaimer on the bottom of their lifestyle posts. Even implied income claims like lifestyle posts aren't okay. So PSA for you MLMers, I know you think you're selling lifestyle and hope. I mean, it's so ridiculous because it's out there in plain sight. Like, I remember people in WV with us saying, I sell lifestyle, or like, I'm a hope dealer. And it's like, hold on a second. Like, that's so telling. Now that I'm out, I see how problematic it is. You should know exactly what you're selling and what you deliver on. But they'll never go away because these lifestyle claims are what keep people roped in. They'll always change as, time goes on. What appealed to the Amway generation in 1970 is not the Gen Z social media crew, but they'll continue to make the lifestyle claims that appeal to the demographic that they're trying to reach. Okay. So that was one post. I'm going to do a lot more of these. I think it's really interesting to see what Huns are posting in the wild and to really break down what they're saying. Let me know your thoughts below. I'm going to end it here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.